Big setback for people in Rocky Hill who've been fighting to keep a nursing home for prison inmates out of their neighborhood.
News 8's Ken Pierce has the latest on the legal battle.
And that's a concern. I'm more concerned with.
Just a few feet from where Tony Coco's kids play in the backyard is where the state wants to house dozens of prison inmates.
We're really close, as you can see, and I got two little kids, and obviously the governor doesn't care.
What the state says is that this will be a nursing home for prisoners too old and frail to hurt anyone. And if the state puts them in a private facility instead of a state prison, they are eligible for millions in Medicaid reimbursements. But neighbors ask, why here?
We're not saying they shouldn't get care. We're saying that this is not the place to put 95 inmates and or mentally ill with criminal charges ranging from robbery to sexual offenses, including pedophilia.
That's why the town went to court to stop the plan. But earlier this week, Town Councilman Phil Silvestro says a judge threw the case out.
I mean, to dismiss the case without a hearing we're astonished.
The judge cited something called sovereign immunity. What that means is you cannot sue the government. But remember, this wasn't supposed to be a government agency. The only way they get the Medicaid reimbursement is if it's a private facility.
The logic that the court is using, we're simply blown away with it. We're flabbergasted.
And all the while, work continues and the nursing home gets ready to open right in Tony's backyard.
This private facility is claiming to be an arm of the state, yet they're able to collect Medicaid funds.
Town leaders plan to file their appeal as early as tomorrow. In Rocky Hill, I'm Kent Pierce, News 8.